Hi, everyone. My name is Kathy Robertson, and with me today is Jay Kent. Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Doing great, Kathy. Glad to be here. Hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, doing well. Thank you very much. Jay and I have been chatting for several months now. We've been bringing you videos. I think our last one was what, in March? We're a
Yep.
little late in getting this one out, but you know, it's springtime, it's pretty, and people tend to go on vacation and such. So, with that little bit, I do want to talk about UPS, if you don't mind, Jay. So, UPS they recently announced their first quarter earnings, which were interesting to say the least. And what were your initial thoughts overall?
Again, I mean, UPS continues to do a good job managing their bottom line. Again, I think, obviously they are looking to make sure that they can have the return for their shareholders. I think they're making some moves that, could be a little surprising for some. I think you and I and others who are maybe a little closer to it aren't really surprised by some of the moves.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, yeah, they may be doing the right moves themselves, but when it comes to a customer using them, they're finding out the rates are a little higher compare maybe to some other uh, um, providers and such. But I know when I listened to the earnings call, there was a lot of discussion around the tariffs and the de minimis. The de minimis ended on May 2nd for small parcels valued at $800 or less from China to the US. And seemed to me that UPS was more concerned about the tariffs themselves and how they may impact them and
Yeah,
what they're planning on doing. So what
yeah.
were your
Again, I
thoughts?
mean, I obviously, I think there's more focus right now on tariffs, not only for UPS, but really our customers. I get asked pretty often, what does it mean to them? What should they be doing? From a UPS standpoint, obviously China to the US, that's their most profitable lane. And, I think as I looked at it last time, it's about 11% of their overall revenue for the international division is that lane. So there's going to be some changes. I think that there is going to be more and more pressure on that lane. I think it's going to be a little bit challenging for those companies shipping directly out of China. Diversification is going to be key, but they did see UPS saw a pretty good increase in the rest of the world volume, but no question from China to U.S. lane that there was some challenge. And I would also say that as people start depleting their inventories, I think there's going to be a pretty big run, before the tariffs go back into effect. And so I think there's going to be some pretty good flow coming in the next, really 45 days or so.
Okay, okay. Uh, so besides the tariffs and the de minimis, the other interesting bit of conversation they had with analysts surrounded their former SurePost um, product, which is
Yeah.
now called Ground Saver. Uh, Tell us a little bit more about all of that. And why did
Yeah.
they change the name?
I'm gonna let the marketing people decide why they changed the name. Again, there are a lot of smart people in the lab to try and figure that out. But from a volume standpoint and effect on the rest of the world, they saw about an 8% decline. And although they tried to talk about why that happened, I think the reality is it's more expensive than other options. And so if are one of those shippers affected by that, please make sure you reach out. We do have some other options available for you. Again, I think UPS is going to continue to have some challenges with that because they no longer are as economical as they were. And I think shippers are realizing that. But if you haven't realized that and you're paying too much, please let us know. Okay.
Okay. The other thing that I was sad to hear was the fact that they announced an additional 20,000 layoffs. And it's as they reduce their Amazon volumes and reconfigure their network. How is that reconfiguration coming along?
Again, they're making progress. I think the statement was, fewer facilities, but smarter facilities. They have to adjust based upon the Amazon loss of volume. From one standpoint, obviously they're going to lose volume, but from a profitability standpoint, obviously, the Amazon volume is not as profitable as some of the rest of their volume, and they're going to keep some of those things that are going to be the most advantageous for them, the returns and deliveries, things like that. So again, although there is, obviously going to be fewer facilities. I think the number was 65 fewer facilities, 20,000 less associates. It's not a surprise, and again, as they continue to dwindle down the Amazon volume, it's something that they needed to do. I think the challenge for the shippers though is, volume moves volume. And so I think you also have to look at what does that mean from a service standpoint for your goods, where are you situated, what impact does that have, and both from a cost and a service side. So be conscious of it because although you may not be Amazon, it could have some ripple effect to what you are shipping in your particular facilities.
Okay, good points. Good points. Uh, just to wrap it up, our conversation never is complete without some pricing adjustments from our friends at UPS and FedEx.
Mhm.
So they've both announced some changes effective around the first part of June. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, again, so it's the zone changes. Okay, are going to go in effect June 2nd. So you're going to see some revised zone charts. You're also going to see some additional handling charges. I won't go into details about it, but again, it's both additional handling weight, dimensional weight. It's just another opportunity for them to make more money to their bottom line. Okay.
And this is
And
UPS, correct?
yeah, that's UPS. But again, FedEx also announced, changes. So they have, zone changes also effective June 2nd. Go figure how that happens. And, one of the things that they did announce with FedEx is they late payment fee, pretty substantial increase from what it was. Obviously, if you're not late, you don't have to worry about the late fee, but yeah, be conscious of that. That is a little bit of a money grab, and there's systems, there's processes that we can help you with to make sure that you're not getting hit with some of those quiet charges that add up very, very quickly.
Okay, cool. So, Jay, how can people find you if they want to learn
Again,
more?
I'm hoping you can find me a couple different ways. One is, reach out on LinkedIn, direct message me anytime. Two is I have every other week a newsletter that goes out, and please just reply back to that. And also, every other week I do Jay's Parcel Notes. So lots of different opportunities to reach out. Love to have the chance to talk to you and see what we can do to, be beneficial for you, the shipper. You are my customer. I was a shipper for a long time, and that's still where my roots are. So want to be a asset to you. So please make sure you reach out and look forward to hearing from you and look forward to the next video.
All right. Thank you so much. And
Thanks,
until
Gail.
next month.
Take care.